from 2020 all the way into 2024, we had the tribal chief run of Roman Reigns as world champion. And to me, he solidified himself as the greatest world champion we've ever seen in WWE history. Checking off every single box when it comes to character work, match quality, shock value, storytelling, helping others along the way to help uplift them in the story that he was currently involved in. Whether he was on a full-time on a part-time schedule, Roman Reigns all around was just a must-watch champion. Some people have mixed feelings about it. Some people will probably disagree because they don't like the part-time champions who barely defend the championship and everything, and you're entitled to that opinion if that's how you personally feel, but I just don't feel the exact same way. I personally feel like it doesn't matter if you're a full-time or a part-time champion. That doesn't determine whether or not you're going to be a good champion. What determines a good champion is, can you do something with the championship after you win it? Can you help uplift the championship to make it meaningful and mean something? And I feel like Roman Reigns did that on a full-time and a part-time schedule. So today I'm going to do a tier list ranking of the championship defenses Roman Reigns had as the tribal chief, every single one. I'll explain how I rank certain matches and why I'm putting them in certain spots as the video goes on, but before we start this tier list ranking, please make sure to subscribe, like, share, comment below, turn on all notifications to be updated with all pro wrestling content right here on this channel, and to be updated every single Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time Zone when we go live for the No Name Wrestling Podcast. We do allow the viewers and subscribers to come on the podcast and chat with us, have friendly debates with us from time to time, man. So we enjoy the conversations, we enjoy the interactions, and we enjoy the support. And of course, as always, if you want to let me know your rankings, let me know in the comment section below as this video goes on where you would place certain matches. Let's do this, man. Ranking the title defenses Roman Reigns had as tribal chief. We're going to start in order from 2020 to 2021, 2022, 2023, and of course 2024. Let's start with Night of Champions, Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. This was a bit of a weird concept to me, at least, because Jey Uso was still known as a tag team guy. He hadn't leveled up to be main event Jey Uso or even the right-hand man at that point. Now, obviously, this turned out to be something really good because it helped propelled for the Bloodline storyline to take off to where it is today. But, for Roman's first real big feud to be against Jey, this was a good opportunity for Jey to step out and showcase what he really could do, but at the time frame, it just felt it felt very weird. It felt very like, what is going on here? Like, Jey Uso's the first challenger to face Roman? Like, out of all people, Jey Uso? That's how it kind of felt, really. I'm going to put this in the good category. This was a pretty good, solid match right here. Not their best match, but not a bad match either. Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman. It's unfortunate this wasn't the 2017-2018 Braun Strowman when his aura was through the roof. And Roman and Braun Strowman had great matches in 2017 as well, and they usually have good chemistry. But this match was mid a little bit. I wouldn't put it on the same level as this one. I think this one is miles better than this one, so that's how I'm going to kind of rank this as I go along with most of these matches. Like, okay, do I feel like this match is on the same criteria as this match? And I don't feel like Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman's on the same criteria as Roman versus Jey at Night of Champions. I hope that makes sense for a lot of people. Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso, Hell in a Cell, by far elite. This is the real first cinema moment of the Bloodline storyline, and yes, I apologize. I know the word cinema does get thrown around a lot nowadays in wrestling, but I mean, it really just was. This is a true cinema match, no pun intended, but it really is a true cinema match, man. The emotion in this match, the storytelling. One thing that Roman Reigns and others benefited with the pandemic happening for the Thunderdome to take place is the ability to be able to speak loud during their matches or cut promos that you can cut without a microphone straight to the camera because you can hear everything that's happening because there's no live audience. They use that to their advantage to the T, like literally, for this match and for the storyline around this time frame. And the ending when Roman, is beating the crap out of Jey, and then, Jimmy comes in to protect his brother, and Roman and Jey and Jimmy are sharing that moment in the ring when Jey's unconscious and they're holding hands over his lifeless body, trying to, come together as a family. Then Roman snaps out of it and goes back into demon mode and chokes out Jimmy, and then Jey's forced to quit to save his brother, and then Roman goes on the stage and his uncle and his dad put the Ulafala around his neck, and Jimmy and Jey are in disbelief, like, what is going on here? Because they didn't fully understand, but eventually they would understand. Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens. This to me is a great match. I really loved this TLC match, and this was the last TLC PLE we had in WWE, and the last TLC matches we actually would have on the show, on the main roster. Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, to me, I think this was their best match they had. It was pretty much like a 2-on-1 handicap as well, because Jey Uso was heavily involved in this, but this match had high spots, great storytelling. Roman Reigns, outsmarting Kevin Owens in the end to be able to retain the championship. I thought it was a beautiful match. This one I'm going to put in the good category. Roman versus Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble. This is 2 out of the 3 matches they would have at the Royal Rumble. The first one was in 2017. Roman was still big dog back then, though. This one was okay. Of course, the end, I'm not going to tax him for the end when Roman was in the handcuffs and couldn't get up, and the referee had to stop the 10 count because they couldn't get out the handcuffs and everything. So, mistakes happen in wrestling. I'm not really going to tax him too much for that. This one wasn't really much of a match. This was Daniel Bryan going through the Elimination Chamber and then got the match with Roman Reigns right afterwards. I'm going to put this in mid, only because this was leading to a good climax for the better alternative story they were currently telling. Like, there's a lot of storytelling within this match, so storytelling to me matters a lot in wrestling because I'm a big advocate for storytelling, and this match didn't happen for no reason. Like, Roman Reigns beating Daniel Bryan after Daniel Bryan went through maybe the most demonic structure ever created in WWE history, the freaking Elimination Chamber. That meant something for where they were going to for this next match and the story, leading into Mania. This match was good. Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns, they mesh well. They have really good chemistry together. I really enjoy their matches. And of course, Daniel Bryan actually made Roman tap out, but the referee didn't see it. And then Edge played a factor in this, by screwing, Daniel Bryan and all that stuff to help Roman win when, Edge wasn't like trying to help Roman win, like for sure, but it was trying to get Daniel Bryan out of the picture so he can get the one-on-one match at, WrestleMania, which didn't happen. This triple threat, though, Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, Edge. This was a sensational triple threat match, man. Looking back, honestly, Daniel Bryan being a part of this, I think, was the correct decision. Like, a lot of people were very upset Daniel Bryan was getting added to this match to make it a triple threat. But honestly, looking back, I gotta say, it was the right choice because this triple threat was great. And for what it did for Roman Reigns after he stacked them and pinned them both, oh my gosh, bro. Like, that is one of the most decisive, greatest finishes I've ever seen in wrestling history, bro. The way he stacked them and pinned them, supreme dominance right there. Oh, where do I put this, though? It is between elite and great. Where do I put this, man? You know what? I gotta put this in the great category. This was a great match, man. This is one of the greatest WrestleMania main events of all time. One of the greatest triple threat matches ever in WWE and WrestleMania history, and one of the greatest finishes I've ever seen. This match was great right here as well. Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns on SmackDown. This was Daniel Bryan's last match in WWE before he would leave. Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns, like I said, they mesh well. They have great chemistry, and their match on SmackDown was spectacular, man. I really, really thought that match was great. This match I'm going to put in the good category. Roman Reigns versus Cesaro. This was another chance WWE had to capitalize on a big opportunity to do something big with Cesaro if they wanted to. And I'm not saying he had to be the world champion. I'm not saying they had to push him heavily in the main event spot, but they could have easily, featured him better on television after this match, after what he could really showcase once again to WWE. We know he lacked in promo skills, but y'all gonna have to miss me with that. That's just an excuse. That's just a lame-ass excuse if you ask me. There have been plenty of people to get pushes in WWE that don't even have half the ability in ring-wise that Cesaro has. Claudio Castagnoli. Like, yes, his promo abilities are lackluster, but there have been a lot of superstars who got opportunities that didn't really have the greatest promo abilities. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's just an excuse for WWE not to utilize him because they just didn't want to. They didn't see the potential in him, or they just felt like he wasn't at the level that he could have really reached, So, Roman Reigns versus Rey Mysterio. This was mid. This was the Hell in a Cell match they had on SmackDown. So, if you remember, they were going to have the Hell in a Cell match at the pay-per-view. They moved it to SmackDown for some reason. And their match on SmackDown it wasn't anything great. This, to me, was great, man. Roman Reigns versus Edge at Money in the Bank. I love this match so much. The back and forth action, the end with Seth Rollins cost Edge the match, which helped set up their feud. The big John Cena return, one of the biggest pops of the decade. Like, that pop at Money in the Bank might be the biggest pop John Cena may have ever had in his career, if we're being honest. That pop was freaking insane, man. Like, a beautiful, beautiful pop for John Cena. It's so good. It warms my heart as a John Cena fan. You know, John Cena's my all-time favorite wrestler. I grew up during the Super Cena peak. That's my guy right there. It warms my heart to see people giving him his flowers and respect now. It sucks it took him this long after, you know, he's about to head into retirement, but that's usually how they do a lot of the greats. You know, they really don't want to give them the respect and flowers once they're pretty much past their peak or they're not really around anymore, unfortunately. So John Cena, I'm glad he's getting his flowers and respect as he should, because, you know, he was very controversial and polarizing back during his peak with the Let's Go Cena suck chants and everything. Now, a lot of people want to give John Cena his respect as he should, because he is a Mount Rushmore WWE superstar. That leads into the next match, though. This match was solid and good. Honestly, this is just a repetitive match of their No Mercy match back in 2017 with a different announce table spot. 2017, Roman Reigns speared John Cena through the announce table. In 2021, John Cena would hit a big attitude adjustment to Roman Reigns through the announce table, but this pretty much was the same match. It was back and forth, a little slow pace, and then it picked up when John Cena hit multiple finishers on Roman Reigns. He kicked out, and then it took one spear for Roman Reigns to beat John Cena, just like it did back at No Mercy. So this was just another match for John Cena to pretty much pass the torch to Roman. Like, he passed the torch to Big Dog Roman, but Roman hadn't been accepted yet as that guy, and he still wasn't looked at as that guy universally among the fans. Well, SummerSlam, everybody knew Roman was the guy. They felt it, they believed it, so this was kind of like another passing of the torch for Roman to, all right, it's yours, Roman. Now it's really, really yours. Roman Finn Balor on SmackDown. Yeah, this was kind of mid, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it was all right. Do I put it on the same level as these matches? No, not really. Roman versus, yeah, this was the same. This was, yeah. And I was there live for this match, and everybody hates the finish, you know, with the demon and everything. Like, everybody hates the finish, and I was there live for that too. So, you know, the Extreme Rules match, and it wasn't anything spectacular. This match, surprisingly, was actually pretty good, man. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, crown jewel. Most of us really, I don't think we're too hyped for this match, just based off of the history of matches that we've seen with these two, and most of them not really being that good. But there actually was a different element to this. You know, Roman Reigns had a different character. Brock came back with a different character. Paul Heyman now was in the middle because he still wants to be an advocate, but he's also now a wise man to Roman Reigns. And it's like, which side is Paul Heyman going to be on? We didn't know. There's a lot of great storytelling within this match, man. So I really, really enjoyed that match. It was a good match. Well, I'm going to put this in the trash category because this was just a squash match. There's nothing really there to talk about with this one. This is when Roman just pretty much murked Sami Zayn. This was a pretty good match. Roman and Seth Rollins had a good match at the Royal Rumble, but the ending, though, is still up in the air for some people for the disqualification, and they never really, like, having something else to follow up with that, because Seth never got a rematch, and they never honestly revisited that. Now they're kind of back in the fold with that, kind of telling more of Roman and Seth's stories combined together. But I mean, yeah, this match was really, really good, and it was very unpredictable for a lot of people, because some people thought Seth could win this match, man. And you know, Roman Reigns has never beaten Seth Rollins in a world title match at a big show, and that played a factor into it. And you know, Seth coming out in the Shield gear and stuff, like, that was like the only good thing about Royal Rumble 2022 was this match. Honestly, everything else was like either very bad or very, very mid. Roman Reigns versus Goldberg. This was mid. There's nothing spectacular about this match either. This is still Goldberg's last match in WWE, which he's gonna have a retirement match, so this officially won't be his last match. But I mean, this match wasn't, I guess, what people thought it could be. I mean, it was short, which we expected, because Goldberg matches usually are that, especially now at his age. So there's nothing too big that really popped out in this match. And I'm not going to put it in the trash category because I don't think the match sucked, but the match just didn't really do too much for me to put it any higher than mid. Roman, Brock, WrestleMania. You know what? I'm going to be a little nasty. I'm going to put this in the trash category. I was there live for this match as well, and I would take Roman and Goldberg over that match. Just because Roman and Brock had way bigger expectations. This was a title for title match at WrestleMania. First time ever you did a champion versus champion match, winner take all. Like, you never did that in the main event of WrestleMania before. And two of the biggest stars you possibly ever could have. It was unpredictable for a lot of people because Roman had been champ for a while now at this stage, and Brock is Brock, right? And it was disappointing. I felt like this match needed a stipulation. Like, what their match was at SummerSlam, I felt like that's what they needed at that WrestleMania. And I was there live for the match at WrestleMania, and it was very disappointing to see what that match turned out to be because the expectations were so high. And Roman and Brock matches are very hit or miss, like truly hit or miss. And a lot of us really didn't even ask for much for this match. We didn't expect this match to be like a show stealer classic, but they could have gave us a lot more. And I know people said that Roman Reigns got injured, separated his shoulder and all that stuff. Maybe that's why they called an audible to go home. I don't know, or can't confirm or deny that because I've never heard that statement be true. So I can't say that's true or that's false. However, for it to be the main event of WrestleMania and their third WrestleMania main event, their first WrestleMania main event was great. Their second WrestleMania main event was trash. One of the worst WrestleMania main events of all time. So it's like, okay, this match has to be like something better than what we got the last time. And it was better than WrestleMania 34, but it's like, we should have got way more in this match that we didn't get. And that's why this match, to me, is going to be in the trash category because the expectations were very high for this match and they completely bombed all the expectations. The storytelling was good. The build-up to this match actually was really good, if you ask me. But the match itself, boo-boo. Boo-boo. This match was pretty good. Roman Reigns, Matt Riddle on SmackDown. The last time Roman Reigns had a title defense on SmackDown, this match was pretty good, man. Like, Randy Orton was out with that injury because he had to have his back fused and stuff. And Matt Riddle, is very good in ring-wise anyway. But this match, honestly, this match was pretty good, man. I got to give it where it belongs to be in the good category. Now, this match, I was there live for this match, too. I was there in person for this SummerSlam. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. I'm going to put this in the great category. This was a great match. And it's crazy because Roman and Brock have had so many matches, but there's really only two matches they've had that really, really are like head and shoulders, like either in the great or the elite category. And that's WrestleMania 31 and SummerSlam 2022, the last man standing. Hopefully this is the last match they'll ever have because I don't know if people can tolerate them wrestling ever again because they did it so many times, especially back when Roman was big dog and Brock was the beast incarnate and was pretty much suffocating the Universal Championship with his reign by having lackluster stories and matches that weren't really that good. And Roman Reigns just wasn't really accepted at that particular time frame among the fans, and it just, I don't know, man. I don't know what WWE thought putting those two together back then, especially in 2018, the many times they did. Like, nobody wanted these two to be in the positions they were, and you're like pretty much forcing the fans to kind of accept it, and the fans just hated it, and it doesn't turn out to be good back then. It doesn't turn out to be good now either, so or it didn't turn out to be good back then, and it still isn't good even today. So but their last man standing match was great. I mean, I can't say too many bad things about that. Freaking Brock driving the tractor, flipping over the ring with the tractor and stuff. I mean, it was great. It took so much to keep Lesnar down, which kept him looking strong as a beast. Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre by far is elite. By far is elite. This to me is top 3 of Roman Reigns' championship defenses. Top 2. This is a top 2 if you ask me. There's only one other match I put above that, and we're going to talk about that a little later, but this is like top 2 best Roman Reigns title defense matches that he had. The atmosphere, the energy, Roman Reigns, not having the bloodline and Drew McIntyre yet to get that moment that we all felt he truly deserved to win the championship in front of the fans because the pandemic happened, so he was robbed of winning the title. Like, he won the title, but 0 fans were there. 0. Nobody else was there to witness it and feel that moment. He still won the championship, but he didn't get to hear that crowd pop. He didn't get to feel that energy and experience. And my gosh, I mean, there was a perfect time to pull the trigger. It would have been this match right here. Like, the crowd would have went dummy. But, man, Roman Thanos Reigns striked again, because that ending left people speechless. And that is a top 2 Roman Reigns title defense, if you ask me, and I will stand on that. Roman Reigns, Logan Paul, I'm going to be honest, this is elite. I'm putting this in the elite category, and it's crazy to say that because this was Logan Paul's 3rd match ever in wrestling, and I remember there were so many people that were pissed that this match was actually happening. How dare WWE give Logan Paul a world title match against Roman Reigns in Saudi Arabia in the main event? Who the hell does WWE think they are, giving Logan Paul a spot like that? But you know what? I was there live at WrestleMania for Logan's debut. I was there at SummerSlam for his match against The Miz, and that match was pretty good too. But this was the match that Logan Paul arrived, where you knew he was the real deal. Whether you liked him or not, whether you follow him on social media or don't follow him on social media, or you're not a fan of him or you are a fan of him, no matter how you feel about Logan Paul, this was the match where Logan Paul showcased he can thrive under pressure. They put him in the spotlight, threw him to the wolves, and he survived. He survived, and he looked incredible in this match. Roman Reigns sold for him. They had false finishes, the freaking frog splash selfie to the announce table. This match over-exceeded anybody's expectations for what it could be. Nobody thought this match was going to be as great as it was. Let's be honest. Nobody thought this match was going to turn out to be what it turned out to be. People thought it was going to flop. People didn't care about it going into it. But afterwards, everybody was talking how great that match was, because that match was elite. Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, Royal Rumble. The match, honestly, was mid. The ending, though, is elite. But the match was mid, though. The match, honestly, really... I don't think the match really was that great. I mean, it was pretty much Roman dominating most of the match, honestly. And then it got to the end, which it needed to get, with Sami Zayn turning on Roman and all that stuff. And, you know... So, I mean, yeah, the match was what it was, but the ending is really what people talk about for that match. Like, nobody really talks about that match in particular. They talk about the ending and what happened, because the ending was the best thing to happen on the show. Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn. Yeah, this was great. Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn in Montreal. Or not Montreal, sorry. Montreal. It was in Montreal. Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn in Montreal, you know. Yeah, oh my gosh. Roman Reigns in those hostile environments when he's fighting either the hometown crowd or the fan favorite. He just thrives so much in that environment, and the crowds are always great, and the atmosphere and the match quality always delivers, and that match was spectacular. Come on, you know, this has got to be in the elite category. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. The first match at WrestleMania. This is also another time when a lot of people thought it was going to be over, and the shock factor of Cody Rhodes not winning. There are people who thought he was cooked. There are people who thought Cody Rhodes was done for. It was GG's for him. Like, it was over for him. He's not going to finish the story. They buried his push and everything, and it turned out to be the best decision they ever made, honestly, because that led to the rematch happening, which was bigger than this match. So, this match is great. You know, I got to put it in the elite category. I mean, it had the unpredictability, it had the storytelling, it had the back and forth action, the false finishes, and the shock factor. It had everything you could ask for. Everything you could ask for. You gotta be honest, this Tribal Combat was mid, man. I was there in person for this match as well. That Tribal Combat match did not live up to what people thought it was going to live up to be, or what they wanted it to be. So yeah, especially for a Roman and Jay match, like after the history they had together and the matches that we've seen them have in the past, you know, Night of Champions, Hell in a Cell. That was very disappointing. That was very disappointing to watch. Roman Reigns, LA Knight. Honestly, I thought this match was good. There were some people who crap on this match and said it was mid, it wasn't that great. I thought the match was pretty solid. I thought it was good for what it needed to be. It made LA Knight look really good. Roman Reigns obviously was going to be the winner. Of course, you know, that was predictable, but you know, I thought the showcase of this match really helped showcase, you know, what LA Knight could really do, and made him look really good as like, hey, he could be a really big star for WWE if they really want to make him one. The Fatal 4-Way match, Roman versus AJ Styles versus LA Knight versus Randy Orton. This Fatal 4-Way match is pretty good too. I'll put it in the good category. I did enjoy the Fatal 4-Way match. I was hoping it was going to be Roman versus Randy in a one-on-one match, but they made it a Fatal 4-Way match, so I'm not complaining too much about that because the Fatal 4-Way was still pretty good. So I'll give it its respect. I'll put it in the good category. And then, of course, last but not least, gosh, the best title defense Roman had was the ending, the climax. Roman and Cody 2, the greatest WrestleMania main event of all time, if you ask me. This, will be a match you go back and look at a decade from now, holy crap, you had to be there. What a time to be alive watching wrestling. What a time to be alive. This is a match you tell your grandkids about. It's a match you're going to tell your great-grandkids about if you're alive to see your great-grandkids. The last 10 minutes, we know how great the last 10 minutes was, but the build and so many things is turning, Cody winning the Rumble, and then The Rock coming back to challenge Roman, and they had the pivot. You get the final boss, a part of it, Seth Rollins, and the build was just, the build was so good, and the match definitely did not disappoint. The match lived up to the expectations. The match was better than Cody and Roman won. This match is better than any match you see on this tier list. Roman and Cody 2 is just a match that honestly will go down, that will live the test of time. That will go down as not only one of the best matches in WrestleMania history, that will go down as one of the greatest matches in wrestling history. Storytelling, the moments, everything. It has everything. That checks off every single box. That match has everything you could ask for as a wrestling fan. If you're a true die-hard wrestling fan, that match has everything you could ask for and more. Thank you all for watching. Much appreciated. Salute to you. If you want to see more wrestling content right here on this channel, you can click the video right here. Or if you want to check out the No Name Wrestling Podcast, you can click the playlist right here to check out all episodes.